So I know that a lot of people really liked the video I did about being a Disney character, which was a bajillion years ago. So I thought I'd do like kind of a sequel. It's kind of like like back in the day, like a draw your life kind of thing, but it's not really a draw your life. It's a draw your life under the costume of a Disney character. I don't know. So basically, little doodles that I did to try to show like what we would wear under the basic characters that I played a lot of. So let's go. So this is basically what I remember towards the end of the time that I was there, which was like 2015. So at that time, we had certain things that we were, they may be different now, I have no idea. I don't work there anymore. But this is basically for Minnie Mouse. So I did play her a lot, as my height would allow. So basically, you would wear basics. Basics were these gray shirts and these black pants. And they would have a barcode on them that would like, that they would get scanned out to like give it, you know, like put on your record or whatever. But you did not wear a name tag, and you didn't have your lanyard or anything showing that you were an employee. People just like kind of knew. But unlike all the other people, you didn't really like wear a name tag. And then they would give you, you would wear like tennis shoes backstage, but and then you'd also have like shoes that were in your shoes. But anyway, we'll get to there later. Anyway, so for Minnie Mouse, you would have a leotard like top and leotard like bottom, but they would be separates, and you would wear them under your basics. So like when you weren't in costume, you would get completely out. You'd be sitting around, but you'd still be with the basics over your leotard or unitard or whatever you want to call it, but it was separate. It was like a shirt and bottom. And so with the neckline, what they had was just like a regular neck that was pretty high. But then as I was leaving, they changed it and added this leotard that had this ring on top, and I hated it. And the ring was basically to like shove up into the mouse's head. That is my dog, and he's losing his mind right now. To shove up into the head, and that's the greatest Minnie Mouse that's ever been drawn, by the way. To like keep people from seeing up into the head, but the problem is it also blocked like airflow, so I didn't like it. But basically, so this is like a top-down view of the mouse, like if you put her head down on the table, and there's like a ring in it, and that's where you put your headgear. So you would like slide your headgear into it and like snap it in, and basically the headgear was like this plastic crown with these strips of fabric on top, and then it had like these little had these little like loops, and you would try to like get the loops to like shove into the crown ringy thingy at the top, and then to secure your head into that, you would wear a chin guard, and the chin guard would be connected up into it too, into your headgear, and then that would secure your head into the little mouse head. Or pretty much any character that you have, you pretty much wear the headgear and the chin guard. So what I would wear, this is what I would do, is I would wear a sweatband, and then over a skull cap. And a skull cap is basically like what surgeons wear, like on their heads to keep their hair away from, you know, like sanitary. So you stuff your hair all up in it, and then you tie it in the back, and then some people would do like a sweatband. I would do a sweatband over it to like keep the sweat from going into my eyes. And then over your leotard, you would wear the body pod or the body pad or whatever you want to call it. And for Minnie, back in the day, it was her little tummy was made by a ring. But while I was leaving, it was actually foamed, like made to have that little bulbous thingy. And then you also had the shoes. So the shoes had Velcro on the bottom, and then the shoes that they provided you had the opposite Velcro, and then you would take that shoe and put it into the shoe shell, the yellow part, like her shoe shell, and then they would stick together and you'd strap it down. But if it wasn't done like property, it would leave a nice little crunch noise. Anyway, so the gloves have 4 fingers, and you'd have to stick like 2 of your fingers into one finger to make it work. And then, like I said, you would take that ring that was around your neck and you'd shove it into the mouse. But before that, what we would do is we would just have a really high neckline on the leotard, and then they would wear a cowl, which was like just a black hood thingy that we would shove into it. And some of the characters still do it, like the chipmunks still do that. But that's what you would wear on the top. And then over the body pad, you would wear, like for Minnie Mouse specifically, she had little bloomers. And this isn't the same colors. I just did this because it was like black on black. Her bloomers are white. And then her dress is red and white polka dotted. And you'd wear that over the body pad and the bloomers. And then you'd shove your feetsies into the shoe shells. And put your hands in the gloves. I forgot to draw the gloves. And then stick your head into the headgear and the chin guard. And you're ready to go. You're the greatest Minnie Mouse that's ever Minnie Moused in the world. And no, there is no AC in it. And so basically this is also kind of works same for Mickey Mouse. So with Mickey Mouse, I had to try to remember like what he wore. Like for some reason, like my brain just stopped remembering. But basically you would wear this dicky thing, which was like a cutout that kind of looked like it was a white shirt with a vest on it, and then you would stick the bow tie on that, and then you would take the tailed coat, the black tailed coat, and you'd snap that into it, and then you'd put the body pad on with the little black pants already attached to it, and then you would put your feet into the shoe shells just like with Minnie, and then you stick your head in, you got your gloves on, and with him then you're ready to go. See, it's pretty simple once you get it. They're kind of all the same inside. The mice, anyway. And everyone is pretty lightweight, except for this guy, Donald. He is heavy. So with Donald, he had rings on his feet instead of your neck. The rings are on your feet, and they're connected to the orange leotards, and you would shove those into the shoe shells. And then he had a really big, heavy body pad that had rings or foam depending on which one you were wearing, and then on top of that it had feathers, and it goes to your knees because you're a duck and you're waddling, so it's really hard to like move in. And then over that you'd wear your little sailor suit with the bow, and then with him his gloves would go like up here, and then with him when you put the headgear in, it was just a little bit different because unlike with Mickey, which you can just pop on and off, Donald's had this Velcro part of the fur in the front and the back, and you actually had to like Velcro it to the body pad first before you even put on his sailor outfit, and like it was a little bit more difficult to get in and out of him, but I was really good at getting in and out of Donald by myself. Never needed any help. Thank you very much. So basically, if you ever see somebody walking around in basics like a gray shirt and black pants, toting around a giant black bag or a black cart, they're probably a character or a convict. We were called convicts once, which I always thought was really funny. Like, people were like, are those like convicts? It's like, yes, we're convicts working in Disney World. Anywho, so I hope that gave a little like insight into the fabulous and not so sexy outfits that we wear under the Disney characters. And yeah, if you like that video, please let me know what else you'd like me to either doodle or draw, because I can draw better than this, but I was drawing it really fast, so it's obviously not very good, but yeah.